Really
cool.
Yeah.
Sitting around the knight's table. You could do. I should call you Sir Lewis. I do. Tell us about.
Get a knight's table, actually. I'm kidding.
Sorry. What?
I said maybe I should get a knight's table, but I don't actually know many other knights, so be sitting there on my own.
Put your swords down.
Charles, a few opportunities left for the season to get back to that top step of the podium. This is a circuit that demands high downforce spec from everybody, somewhere where you seem to have been quite comfortable this year. Do you have confidence coming into this that this may be one that maybe levels the field out a bit?
I don't know. I still feel like Red Bull, especially on Sunday, will be the team to beat. On the Saturday, we have our chances. I think we've been strong. Overall, if you look this season, we've always been strong on the Saturday, but then coming the Sunday, Red Bull has something more.
In that into 23.
Yes, for sure. I mean, as much data as we get in those last 3 races, the better it will be for us. And obviously, we will try a few different things in the next few races to see whether there's something that we can understand from it for next year. So, it's.
Let's talk this weekend quickly then. Big barn door on the back, and yet because of the altitude, very little downforce.
Yes.
How tough does that make it? And what do you think the weekend will look like for you guys?
It does make it very tough. You have to set up the car in quite a few different ways. How you have to drive the car can be quite different as well. So it's a challenge for myself, challenge for the mechanics, the engineers to set up in a way we probably haven't experienced with this type of car yet. It's also just challenging circuit at the same time. But
Mexico City. It's a track that hasn't always been kind to you, but with the turnaround that the team has had these last few races, the pace you guys have shown, are you guys confident coming in here?
Yeah, I mean, I love coming here. It's a great track. I have some good memories here. 2017, I think, finished 6th, which was nice. And just a place I enjoy coming to. The energy is great and the track's great. The whole weekend's fun. So,
how do you guys maximise these last few races? Because the turnaround's been sublime, and it seems, I know after the 2 wet races you were wondering if it would translate to the dry, and Austin seemed to show that it totally has.
Well, I don't think we maximized it. I mean, we didn't finish in Austin, and the other car had a pit stop issue and was running comfortably, top 5, 6 kind of thing. So we didn't maximize in terms of points, but I think definitely just where we're at with our car pace and just where we've been lately compared to the beginning of the season has been we've just been much more competitive.
How are you, Lance? What's the feeling on where the car's going now? You seem to have really got on top of the upgrade and making it kind of sing. It was an unfortunate end to the race in Austin, but you had the pace all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we've been quick the last few races, really. I think, really since the summer break, we've been just much more in the fight, much more competitive. Hope we can keep it going this weekend.
Bit annoyed at this penalty?
There's nothing I can do about it now. So,
no, I know, but
make it up in the race.
Yeah.
Make it up in the race.
Okay, all right. But it's an unfortunate way to end it, obviously. You don't have any feelings on this thing about unsafe cars? I mean, I know it doesn't affect your team, but it does affect Fernando's. He got booted out of his position because he had a mirror fall off. I know there's kind of, safe cars and unsafe cars, we don't know what, but do you have a feeling on it either way? Things do fall off of Formula One cars quite regularly. And should that mean disqualification, which is effectively the discussion that's being had about this?
I think we have to use.
Or Sir Lewis, as Jimmy Kimmel was very keen to explore.
Yeah. Well, you're a Brit, so you should refer to it.
Yeah, but I think you should have come in chainmail on a horse with a spear and sword. That's clearly what they wanted. I love the way they love this sort of Sir Lewis. It's like back to heraldic days. It's really cool. Sitting around the knight's table. You could do. I should call you Sir Lewis. I do. Tell us about.
Get a knight's table, actually. I'm kidding.
Sorry? What?
I said maybe I should get a knight's table, but I don't actually know many other knights, so be sitting there on my own.
Put your swords down. And all that. How's the team set this weekend? It was so close in Austin. Well, pretty close. How are you set this weekend?
I mean, the race worked out to be quite close, but I mean, it was more so because Red Bull had that problem in their pit stop. I do think we may have come out ahead of them if they had a normal pit stop, but he would have just overtaken me straight away. So, they had like 4 to 5 tenths on us last weekend, particularly in race pace. So it was never enough, and never a point at which we were going to keep them behind us. Coming into this weekend, we've obviously there's lots of positives to take from last weekend, and we're coming in here. It's high altitude, maximum downforce. which forces everyone to be on maximum downforce. Even the Red Bulls, which I don't know whether they're always the strongest with their max wing. We will see this weekend. But I'm really hoping. They were very strong here last year, so I anticipate they'll be very strong this weekend. But I hope we're in the mix again because it was really fun last week.
Yeah, I mean, historically here, when Mercedes had the best power unit or the most powerful power unit, that acted against you.
Well, this was the only race where we didn't have the most powerful.
Exactly.
I would say, because of the turbo. And Red Bull had the most powerful one here last year.
Yeah.
I anticipate they'll have the most powerful one this weekend because their turbo, they have more deployment than everybody. They almost have 100% deployment through a lap, is where most other people are around 70-80%.
No, I was just going to say, but even though maybe the car itself W13 doesn't deserve to win a race this year, hasn't been a great car, let's face it, I think it's pretty clear that, do you feel that the team, the mechanics, the engineers, you, George, the amount of work you put in is the same or more as usual? So you guys all deserve to win at least a race this year, even if W13 doesn't deserve to win a race this year because it hasn't been a very good car.
Well, I think honestly, the whole circus, every team deserves. Every team and everybody in every team has been working flat out this year. So in terms of who deserves more than another, I don't really. I can comment just on my team, just seeing what I've seen, how hard and how deep everybody's been focused and just incredibly determined. Of course, they deserve success, but this year we didn't do the job that the others had done. But it would be such a blessing if we did get a win. I think people would really, the emotions that would come out would be unmeasurable. But if it doesn't come, it's okay. We just churn in. We just take that energy that we're feeling. There is hope there. There is a huge amount of focus. We know where the car is wrong, is not great, and we know where.
When you retired in Australia, do you ever think that by the end of the season you'd be standing here having equalled the win record for a Formula One season with 3 races to go to beat it?
Probably not. At the time, I think we were a bit more in a difficult place. I think especially Australia was a very poor weekend for us, but the team really turned it around very quickly, and the car became a lot more competitive and reliable, and that was definitely very important to turn it around. And then, of course, we had a bit of luck as well with people dropping points, but I think as when you look back at the season so far, what we have done as a team, it's been pretty incredible.
It has been an astonishing turnaround for the season, but a brilliant performance from you. From these last 3 races, what are you looking to gain? Is it just to continue to push yourself, gain a higher level at every single Grand Prix, or I don't know, what have you got left to prove this year?
Well, it's not about what's left to prove. It's more about just trying to learn more from the car, what we maybe can apply to next year, and of course we'll try to win it. But that I think naturally comes if the car is in a good state, good window. That's what we always try to achieve. Luckily, of course, it was again good enough in Austin, but here we have to again work basically from zero because it's a completely new car. That's of course